Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
What's going on, Voodies? It is a great day here at the VooDoo Chef Podcast. I'm sporting my bottle of Jack for 2 reasons, Big Eddie C, because it's a bottle of Jack, but also because we're taking a flashback to the 1980s, and I don't know about you, but some of my big heroes from the 1980s used to love this, grab this bottle and just tilt it back. Not this guy. I'm too old. I need a glass of ice.
Oh, look at that. No, I'm drinking new school beer. Sorry. There is no way I'm going back to the 80s in terms of what I drank, because it was either cheap, shitty beer or liquor that made me vomit. One of the two.
You know, I talk about drinking Jack, but back in the 80s, that wasn't even in my vocabulary there. But I used to love when, you know, you hit the Molly Crew concert and you got Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx going back and forth, seeing who could drink more out of the bottle. And, you know, the Jack Daniels bass by, you know, Michael Anthony there. Just iconic. Jack goes hand in hand with rock and roll.
Jack's always been there, man. I mean, it's long before anything else. I mean, you know, nowadays with beer, there's all kinds of rock stars that have either co-branded something or inspired a beer. It's happened a lot. You know, it's kind of cool that that's crossed over. It can only help everybody. But Jack, I think, was the first booze that rock bands embraced in terms of whether they're drinking it or just the symbology of it.
Yeah, they're innovator, man. And even today, they're still supporting music through the COVID, through all this crap we're going through. But more importantly, we're going to do a flashback to the 1980s today. We're going to bring in some guests and talk about music and talk about our top 3 albums of 1980s, the 1980s, not 1980, but the entire decade. Not giving away any of your albums. You know, we're going to get to these guys in a minute. Well, what are some of your honorable mentions? Because we probably won't have time for all of our honorable mentions on the show. What were some of your honorable mentions that might have made it, but not quite?
Probably, this isn't hard rock, but Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. I was always a huge Knopfler fan, guitar-wise. Both Misplaced Childhood and Clutching at Straws by Marillion, one of my favorites. There have been some other ones that I thought of. I mean, at the time, Back in Black.
Yeah, see, that was a 1980 record.
That's
right?
on Mount Olympus right there, you know.
Yeah, just that's on a plane of its own. But, you know, I didn't even really come into that until later, maybe mid-'80s.
Really?
You know, another 1980 album-ish that really stuck with me, and everybody's going to be like, dude, seriously? REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity, man. Just amazing album. And, you know, I got turned on to it because my brothers were listening to it. And, you know, they were even playing some of that music in, you know, some little makeshift band they had and whatnot. Just really made an impression on me, and still one of my favorite albums to this day. Something else that hit me, every Ozzy that came out, Blizzard, Diary, Ultimate Sin, all came out in the 80s. And real close to my tops. You know, Blizzard of Oz, major impact on me when that came out. And then follow up with The Diary of a Madman, 2 amazing records in my opinion.
I actually liked most of the Sabbath ones that came out in the 80s because.
Well, didn't Heaven and Hell come out in the 80s?
Yeah, they went through, God, what was there? There was at least 4 different singers of the 80s Sabbath, because there was Dio, and then he left, and Ian Gillan from Deep Purple did Born Again. Then after that was Seventh Star, which they released as Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi, because he was going to do it as a solo, and they said, there's got to be Black Sabbath in there. And Glenn Hughes sang on that, who was also with Deep Purple. And then Tony Martin rounded out the 80s with, Cross Purposes, and he did like 5 albums total, but they were underrated as shit, man. I'll beat the shit out of anybody. This is why I didn't like him. It's like, did you hear him?
Who's your favorite Sabbath singer?
Probably Dio. I like the Dio stuff. I don't dislike Ozzy. He just, like the last couple albums they did with him, Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy, that was some fucking trash, man.
You know, I saw Sabbath with Ozzy like recently. It might have been with you, Ed. Who the fuck knows? You know, he stood there reading off the little teleprompter the whole time, and it just kind of turned me off.
No, we didn't go to that because I remember I asked you, and you said all you remember was bass player was really fucking good. That's all you told me you remembered of it. That was what you took notice of.
They were horrible, man. And you know, I was never a Sabbath fan. I really didn't know much of them. I was an Ozzy fan.
Sure.
And by that, I mean Blizzard, Diary. I really didn't even know he was in Sabbath until much later. Something else made my my honorable mention that I want to just throw out there. Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry, Mental Health.
Oh, yeah.
And then Pyromania was huge for me, as was Too Fast for Love. But we'll get to Too Fast for Love in a bit. But Pyromania.
Hysteria.
I thought that was good too, but for me, it was Pyromania, man. Just, you know, That was such a powerful album. Again, what was it? High and Dry is what introduced me to Def Leppard through my brother.
Right.
But then, you know, Pyromania was one that I could call my own. It wasn't his, it was mine. And I just thought it was so good.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, let's throw some VooDoo and, of course, Master of Puppets. Let's throw some dates out here real quick for VooDoo before we bring these guys in, because we're going to talk our top 3. No honorable mentions. We're going hardcore. Going to talk the real deal, Lucille. We have to throw the VooDoo dates out real quick. Guys, November 13th, I take over So Chill. I know you're sitting here, VooDoo Chef Podcast, the guy that always fucking touching his hair and playing with his bandana and drinking Jack. What the fuck? Guys, we're throwing down some badass shit. We're doing dirty tostadas, pinchos pibil. We're doing a little queso, but with my house-made pimento and chorizo. And we're doing twisted shrimp. Every course comes with a cocktail. Most importantly, proceeds support the VooDoo Chef Foundation. Help us keep kicking the foundation, supporting the community through food, through education, doing what we do, helping everybody out there. November 20th is the VooDoo Gin bottle pickup. If you don't know what the VooDoo Gin is, we're pairing with Dark Door Spirits. I picked out my own barrel of their Spirit of Prohibition barrel-aged gin. That's right, barrel-aged gin. 2.5 months in a new oak barrel. It is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. If I'm not drinking
looking shit, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if I'm not drinking Jack, I'm drinking 813 tequila. If I'm not drinking 813 tequila, I'm drinking VooDoo Chef's barrel-aged gin. So, jump on that. Again, everything. The proceeds go to support the VooDoo Chef Foundation. Log on to VooDooChef.com. Check it out. If you buy a bottle of VooDoo Barrel Gin, you get to come to the barrel pickup party. The VooDoo Gin bottle barrel. Too many bees. You get to come to a fucking party. We're gonna have a live music. We're gonna have tastings from Silver and Smoke, tastings from Xochitl, tastings from VooDoo Chef. Not to mention you get to pick up your bottle. You get to do a tour of the distillery, and you get to maybe sample a few their creations out there. It's going to be a great night. That barrel pickup party is on November 20th. You have to buy a bottle of gin to be invited to the party. And then Big Eddie C, I don't know if we announced this or not. We let it leak on the radio last Friday night.
Oh.
February 12th. February 12th, the pop-ups are back. We're popping up all over town starting February 12th. First one is a VooDoo Valentine. We are popping up at Dark Door Spirits, and it is going to be a very cool VooDoo Valentine. 4 courses. The headlining course for you and your date, the badass and the bitch. We will leak more information about that to come, but I am going to let you know it is a live dinner show with comedy by the one and only Johnny B. Get your tickets. They will be posted soon. And I'm telling you, we will sell out. One seating only. Live comedy from Johnny B. I don't know who our opening act is going to be yet, but it's going to be a great night, a VooDoo Valentine. You and your special whoever, come out, get some tickets, come out. And guys, I'm telling you, it's a great fucking price. It's a great price. I don't know what it is, but I know it's great. Hey, you ready to talk some 1980s rock and roll, man? Or not?
I'm ready.
Because it's not
I've
all
had
rock.
my beverage. Started on my beverage.
Starting
Tonight
on it or
it's,
having a second one?
Tonight it's called Good Good by Separatist Beer Project.
Where the hell's that from?
Fuck, we're Pittston, Pennsylvania. I don't know where it is. But
Where in Pennsylvania?
Pittston, not Pittsburgh, Pittston. Yeah, I don't know where it is either.
I never heard of that place, man.
Well, Boss Man told me last night he's from Pennsylvania. He said there's Pittsburgh and there's Pennsylvania, and in between it's like Alabama. That's all I need to know.
Hey, my family's from there, and I can confirm that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get Jay in here first from Slippery and Wet.
Get him in here.
He's here. I see him. I see him in the back. He's doing something. He's getting a cocktail. He's getting ready to rock and roll. He's getting ready to talk music.
Oh, nice.
His audio's not on. There he is, the one, the only, Jason Morey. What's going on, buddy?
Woo.
Your audio on?
It's connecting.
We'll get you. We'll get you. It's coming.
It's just like at a gig. Problems with the mic.
Need to change the 9-volt. What's going on, buddy?
There he is.
How are you?
Good, man. It's been a while, man. You doing well?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Jay's got a guest. That's why he's doing well. I see her in the background. You can't fool me, buddy. I'm a teacher. People can't be sneaky. All right.
Whatever your wrist, dude.
I have something called synovitis, baby. It's inflamed as shit. So, no rude comments. I switched to left hand a long time ago, but I got to wear this for a month, take medication for a month. Doctor said, if you ain't better, I'm going to stick you with a needle. Just like that. Just what I want. So,
Right.
I had to get a cortisone shot, and my doctor told me, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my wife on our honeymoon. You're going to feel a little prick.
oh, boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Is life good, man?
I mean, at the end of the world, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Hey, you live in the area that's holding this whole shit up, man. Can you fucking get it over with? Tell your people to hurry up?
Yeah. I mean,
That's what I think of it.
Georgia's not going to matter anyway, but.
Well, we're talking rock and roll tonight, man. What do you got in your cup?
This is a beer out of Pittsburgh called Penn Pilsner, and I love it.
Ed's drinking a beer out of Pennsylvania tonight, too.
Yeah.
Really? Which one?
It's called Good Good from Separatist Beer Project in Pittston, Pennsylvania.
I don't know.
That's why I got this hat on. Because I feel like I got kicked by a moose.
You know somebody from there? Or how'd you end up with that?
Found it at the store.
So just a random buy?
Yep. It was up at Total Wine the other day, and I grabbed it. I'm always trying new shit. So.
Right on.
Do you know where the beer I'm drinking is from, Jay?
You don't have beer.
Trick question.
You're not drinking that blackened again, are you?
No, man. We're checked
That's
in.
been
Checked in. So tell me about Slippery When Wet real quick. Can we expect to see you soon? Is this craziness going to go on? That's going on going to dampen that?
We've got 6 shows this month, which is the most we've had in a month since February. So,
dude, I'm happy for you. All local?
No, we're in Louisville Saturday, and God, I don't know, some other places, Cincinnati,
or somewhere. They'll tell me where I gotta be.
So,
Well, that's good news, man.
Awesome.
We're doing our top 80s. We're gonna bring in Corey Canfield too. He's the guitar player for a band here local. He doesn't know that yet. I'm gonna tell him that here in a minute. But we're bringing in Corey Canfield right now too to join us for our 80s top 3 album. And Corey should be checking in any minute. I don't know what's up with these computers today coming in. While we're waiting on him to come in, I don't even see him coming in.
is Tony on this?
He had some personal issues. He had to pull out at the last minute.
Okay.
Keep him in your thoughts, and everybody out there, keep him in your thoughts. Corey, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? How are you?
Living the dream. I assume you know everybody in the room, Big Eddie C and Jason from Slippery When Wet Band. And joining us tonight, in addition, is Corey Canfield, the guitar player, not only for the Republican Hippies, but also for the Castaways. What's going on, buddy?
I'm still pondering the question of the 380s albums and the list in my mind. I'm an 80s guy. The list is just way too long, dude.
Way too long. Way too long.
Way too long.
So live in the moment and pick 3.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have a tough time picking 10.
We do this quite often, and we all know that it could change tomorrow, and that's just the reality. I mean, it depends on what mood you're in, what you're going through. Jay, what went through your mind when you were trying to narrow this down to 3? What were the criteria that came to mind?
Like everyone else, I mean, it was such a big decade, and all of us growing up in stuff that we were raised on and the whole whatever. So no, I mean, there's a ton of stuff that could have gone into it, but I don't know. The 2 of my 3 came very easily. The 3rd I had to kind of really dig in and see. But
Corey, what about you? Any special criteria?
Yeah, well, I kept thinking, what were albums I wore out? That's what came to mind. What were either something that I still play today that I put on and just let go, doesn't matter where it's at in the album.
Yeah,
or something that I just wore out.
That was part of the criteria for me. It was something I played over and over and over again. And also, just meaningful moments, because it's kind of like food. We tie them back to memories. We tie songs and music back to memories or points in time in our life. We do the same thing with food, and that played with me. Eddie C, anything special on your list of what brought it to the forefront and what made it hit that category?
Well, it was tough because there was 3 different music versions of me. There was hair metal 80s Ed, there was heavy shit 80s Ed, and then there was like way less heavier, like mainstream progressive-ish rock, like new wave 80s Ed. So I just stuck with my heavier stuff because figured if you were doing this, I'm gonna pull out the heavier shit, because for me, I was listening to Van Halen and AC/DC like everybody else until 1983. And my first job, I'm working with this other kid. My first job as a busboy, and he's a couple years older than me, and he's half crazy. and he said, we're talking about rock, and he said, what do you listen to? Heavy metal. What heavy metal? So at that time, I think about as heavy as he got for me, AC/DC, Van Halen, Kiss, Judas Priest. He's like, I got some stuff you need to hear. So I came over to his house one Saturday night, and that's where he turned me on to Metallica, Motorhead, Venom, Exciter, Anvil, all the early wave of thrash bands from 80 up through like 83, 84. And I was just like really liking it, because at that age, I'm like 15, 16. I fucking hate the world. I fucking hate myself. So the heavier shit was like a natural, it was almost like the magnetic north to my aggression. I'm just like, I'm going right toward it.
I feel like that at times now, Ed, just so you know. I hate the world. Fuck everybody.
I'm glad somebody does, man, because when I was home from March through August, I was like, yes, I've been prepared for this, I'm like, it's fucking Phil Collins for me. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. I liked it,
Well, guess what? Well, I won't make any jokes or do any of that. I promised I wouldn't, so I won't. Let's jump right in. We've got Big Eddie C. Eddie C knows more about worthless trivia and knowledge, as he puts it, than most people I know. Johnny B refers to him as his autistic friend and always wants him on the trivia team.
Simple Ed.
We taught Simple Jack. I just get to hang out and moderate this thing. We've got Corey Canfield, guitar player extraordinaire from Republican Hippie and the Castaways. And then, of course, one of my best buds, Jay, who his business card simply says, I sing songs, motherfucker. Is that right?
It's true.
It's true. Awesome. It's true. And I told you I was going to steal it, but I have not yet. So let's jump right in. And Corey, we're going to start with you. So we're going to go with number 3, and we'll talk about our number 3 favorite and just why and what and how did it come about and what made it special for you. So
number 3, huh? Like my third choice is what you mean?
Yeah, we go 3, 2, 1. 1 being the best.
I've got to look it up real quick.
Jay, grab me a beer.
Yeah. Okay, so number 3, I picked Scorpions Worldwide Live.
Oh my God, such a great album.
Yeah, it is. It actually was one of the first cassettes that Scorpions sold that was metal cassette. It's supposed to last forever, which it didn't, because I wore it out. Yeah, I used to cruise around in my old Le Mans and just blasting that live album, because there was not a bad track on it.
I'm going to agree with that. Not a bad track, and I thought it was just incredible. It came out just huge. Jay, Ed, did you guys have that? I had it on cassette as well. Did you guys have that?
I wasn't huge on Scorpions, but sorry, go ahead, Ed.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying I don't think I had it.
Yeah, funny story of a buddy of mine that was a little special. He could never get the title of the album right, and he would call it World Live Wide.
So you have a Simple Jack in your life too.
I mean, essentially, it's the part 2, Love It for Sting. It's the part 2 to that album is what it is.
That band, I mean, really opened them up. You know what I mean? That was the MTV era and Big City Nights and the whole whatever. I mean, it kind of put them into that whole, thing.
Corey, favorite song off the album?
Ah, man. It's going to be either Big City Nights or Hurricane. Rock You Like a Hurricane is just awesome from start to finish. But yeah, I'd say Rock You Like a Hurricane is probably my favorite track off that whole album.
See, I'm going Bad Boys or The Zoo. I just love both of those tracks.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, The Zoo's got that great whine and that great bass line in it.
Great album, start to finish. And if you guys haven't heard it, go check it out. Awesome album. Let's keep it going. Jay, I'm excited here from my guy that sings songs, motherfucker. So I'm curious what this album is going to look like.
So again, this was hard to put together, and I listened
I mean,
to a lot of
were there any crooners out there in the 80s?
crooners. Falco, Rock Me Amadeus.
Superstar.
Oh shit.
So no, my third pick is what I believe is Van Halen's best record, and that's Fair Warning.
Oh, amen.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was the one for me.
I was introduced to this by a buddy of mine. He loved the song Unchained, and he would play it on the guitar over and over and over. It's like the only song he fucking knew. What made Unchained do it? What made Fair Warning do it for you?
Fair Warning is that record to where it's just a special record in that, they weren't going for hits, but it's got this nastiness, but it's got this groove, and it's just, it's Unchained and Mean Streets. To me, there's no two better Van Halen songs than those two, and they happen to be on there. So,
what number was that for them in their career? First, second, third?
That was the record for 1984. So.
Yeah, that was after Diver Down.
No,
Really?
Yeah.
This was before Diver Down, but
Before?
1984 was.
Sorry.
Was it? Because the Diver Down was what, 80, 81?
82?
82? I know it was
Yeah.
right around there.
Now, Fair Warning was, I guess if you follow the Van Halen folklore, that's the one where the tension between Dave and the Van Halen brothers was apparently starting to, snowball. So Eddie was writing more pissy, aggressive riffs. But if you ever forget how cool that fucking song was, go on YouTube and look for Mean Street Live with Gary Sharon singing. There's a pro quality one shot in Australia because they didn't do a lot of stuff from the Fair Warning album when Sammy was with them, which is the only knock I would have on it. And if you watch this, he does that intro, and it's just, Corey could appreciate just that tapping, it's just fucking badass. And when I saw them in 90, I think it was 97 or 98 when they came out with the VH3 album with Gary Sharon that was poorly received, I flew into Denver. I spent one summer just fucking off completely, which I did most of the time anyway. I mean, for a good chunk of my life, but there was a combination of bad food, bad women, bad drugs, bad everything. And one summer I took off, spent 3 weeks in Buffalo where my roommates were from. And then I went to see a buddy of mine who had moved out to Denver. And the night I got there, he said, let's go see Van Halen because the tickets were heavily discounted at Fiddler's Green Amphitheater. They were like $10.45 because the radio station was 104.5. I'm like, well, fuck yeah. Kenny Wayne Shepherd opened up. He was really good. But when Van Halen came out, it wasn't real dark yet. And I remember there was, with no fanfare, Eddie walks out. There's just intro music was still going and plays Eruption, then plays the intro to Mean Street. And you're thinking, are they really going to do it? And sure enough, they kicked right into it. And I was like, fuck, man. Anybody talks about Van Halen, whether it was with Sharon or anything, I'm going to fucking smush him down the drain, man. I was just blown the fuck away. And it reminded me how goddamn good that album was.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I only know the 2 songs off the album. I'm going to have to check it out if it's that good.
It's great.
I'd like to hear Sharon's version. I was a huge Extreme fan when they first came out. Their first album almost made my list. I can listen to that first Extreme album over and over still. It's so
one of my favorite concerts ever was Extreme.
Yeah. I saw them at the Sundome.
You go to that one? I was there.
That was 3 sides to the story or whatever, 3 sides to the coin or whatever it was. And
I don't remember if it was that one or not.
Yeah, just so I could see them play the old stuff. I don't know, the last album wasn't that good, but the old stuff was still great. But yeah, I was big Sharon fan. I was surprised that, well, I was kind of sad that, you know, it didn't work out with him and Van Halen, because I thought, well, that my guy may be good fit, but it just wasn't.
No, I haven't even heard the Sharon album with
You could
Van
skip
Halen.
that.
It's bad.
You're not missing much, but you should
You
hear
can
it
skip that.
because some people liked it. So,
Yeah.
I don't think, as the kids would say, I don't think I would liked it.
yeah, liked it.
Eddie
Yeah.
C, give us your number 3, because if not, our trivia folks are going to be like hating us.
Seventh Son of the Seventh Son by Iron Maiden. I could change on this tomorrow, but that one was the one that blew me away, because it was when they were like Priest and they were fucking around with the guitar synthesizers. And that was just a strong album from start to finish, man. Can I Play With Madness was just a single.
Great song.
And that thing came rolling out, just punching with Moonchild, man, which I love that shit, man. I mean,
Great set. Can I Play With Madness? Great song.
the whole album was good. It was
I
solid
actually
shit.
bought the album. Couldn't tell you another song off the album.
Yeah, I think I had every Maiden album just for the artwork alone, because they were all just so intricate, and I was like, let's let this play for a while, and I'm gonna check out the album. But,
Now, I don't know if you remember this or not, but in the mid 90s, when they parted ways with Bruce Dickinson for a while, they did a couple albums with a guy named Blaze Bayley, who was in another British minor band called Wolfsbane. And on which I guess it was the first one they did with him, it was called the X Factor. It was their 10th album. They played a little tiny bar in Orlando, and I remember thinking, fuck, I just saw Iron Maiden a few years before on Somewhere in Time in the Hollywood Sportatorium, which was like the premier venue on that coast at the time. I mean, it was where I saw everybody: Van Halen, Motley Crue, Ozzy, Rat, Billy Squier, all those big names who were at the top of the game played there. And I'm thinking, Iron Maiden playing a bar? I gotta go. I don't give a fuck if Daffy Duck is the singer. So I went, and I gotta tell you, they were fucking fantastic, because it was like they were back in their pub days, and they were hungry. You know, it was one of those really, really good shows. And a band called Fear Factory opened up, so they were just vicious. And Maiden just came out like, okay, let's kick their ass. They tried to kick ours, let's do it. You know, it was like almost like a competition to go out and see who could play heavier and harder. So I'll always remember seeing a band like that
At
in
a club.
place like that. You know, it was small. But
I'm gonna tell you, you've never seen a band at a club till you've seen Split Image at the Chinese restaurant. Just saying.
Ooh,
Jay,
Chinese
were
restaurant.
you an Iron Maiden fan?
Was I?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just for the musicality of it? It doesn't strike me as something you're going to buy the album.
I mean, it wasn't huge on my whatever, but I mean, I liked Iron Maiden. I had Number of the Beast and
Peace of Mind.
maybe no, what's the
Our Slave.
Time maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I just didn't do it, and as we get into my cheesy ass shallow list, it'll all come to fruition.
Ah,
So, my number 3 album of the 1980s, no surprise. Well, maybe it is. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I Love Rock and Roll. And it came in a very close tie with Van Halen's Diver Down. I got
I'm
radio.
proud of you. I'm proud of you, because I thought all 3 of these were going to be Kiss.
They all came out in the 70s. Kiss died in 1983. But you know, I got radio copies of both of these albums from one of my brother's friends who was doing some radio promo stuff. And I just remember, you know, putting the needle on the last track, Crimson and Clover, of one side, and it would pick up and then start back on I Love Rock and Roll, and then I'd do it again over and over and over. And sad part is I really thought these were Joan Jett songs, only later to find out neither are. But just amazing for me that, you know, she could rock that hard and just be out doing her shit. And I absolutely, to this day, still love Joan Jett and think she kills it, and I'm glad she finally got in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm glad I've seen her multiple times because she puts on a great show. All great music. I'm not going to linger over it because I want to make sure we hear everybody and everybody's music. Corey, number 2, go.
Number 2 is Prince, 1999.
Oh, here comes Jay. He's coming back to talk. Tell me about Prince in 1999. What's up with that?
Yeah, that is just one of those, that's when I first got introduced to Prince. A neighbor kid of mine was into Prince, and he was actually introducing me to old EPs, Erotic City and stuff like that. And he let me borrow his 1999, and I played it over and over and over. It's just a bad album from start to finish. Then I think from that album I realized what a musical genius this guy was.
I thought he was a movie star until I met this guy over here, and I didn't know much about Prince and really didn't know much about it other than
albums by himself. Every track, just the whole album is by himself, and it just blew my mind that he did that.
1999, he did that?
I believe he did, because he used to record everything by himself.
Well, I keep looking over at Jay to confirm that because Jay's a huge Prince fan. He recorded every track on 1999?
He played all the instruments, yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's a great album. I mean, there's what can you say? It was all over MTV. It was all over everywhere. And killer music. And I'm sure we'll hear more from Prince coming up.
Foreshadowing. Jay,
what's your number 2, man? And I don't think I wouldn't have picked this, but
number 2, it shouldn't come as any surprise that somewhere on this list is going to be some Bon Jovi. The obvious pick would be Slippery When Wet, which is a great record, but it's New Jersey. New Jersey is the one that did it for me. Slippery When Wet broke them through and do whatever, but it's kind of my personality with music. I never liked the big record. Like Kiss. Destroyer is possibly the best whatever, but I just wouldn't pick it. And so New Jersey to me was them after the fact. They'd already become huge. And, they came back with this just amazing record with all of these songs and better writers, better production, the whole thing.
If you look at the song list on this album, it is just start to finish. I mean, not to quote Sum 41, but it is definitely all killer, no filler. Give me your favorite song.
Gosh, that'd be tough.
What's your favorite song to perform from this album?
I'll Be There For You is great, and it goes over great. Lay Your Hands on Me goes over great. I don't know, what's my favorite song? Probably Wild as the Wind or like Stick to Your Guns or something like that.
Wild as the Wind's a great song, and nothing that's going to be a first track song, but I think it's one of the best songs on the album. But that's coming from the guy who thinks the name of the album is Bad Medicine. I mean, I'm just being real. I think that's the best song on the album. I think it's amazing, and doesn't matter. I'm not a huge Bon Jovi fan, but Bad Medicine is like for me, just one of the top songs out there. Probably because it's cheesy and bubblegum.
I agree, and it's the Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. They're playing Bad Medicine that made that movie.
and Jay, one last comment on your statements for the record. The best Kiss album ever is not Destroyer, and it's not Love Gun. It's Kiss. It's the original. And we can have another podcast about that whenever we want. Eddie C, number 2.
Oh boy, what did I put? Operation Mindcrime, Queensryche.
Now, did you think Casey was going to be on the podcast tonight? Were you going for some bonus points?
No, that's one of my all-time favorites, so I'm not even trying to kiss Grillo's ass. Plus, I'd have to get down too low because he's about a foot shorter than me. No, that's another album that everything about it, the production, the individual performances, the story, everything is just slapping on that from end to end. It is just an absolute magnum opus from a band that you thought from the 2 albums before that, you thought, well, they could be really good because they kept getting better. But that's a fucking Mount Rushmore of rock albums right there. And I think maybe some people
a concept record even to boot.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was just dead on, and it's still probably relevant today in terms of just the vision of America that he was going with on that. But it's just a fucking propulsive, edgy album, but it's tight as a gnat's ass. I mean, everything about that is just, I remember the first time I heard it, it was just like, I had it in the Yamaha cassette deck in the car, and, those things used to flip on their own, and I was done with it. It was just like, fuck, I'm going right back through it, man. I just sat in the car in the parking lot, man. Stereo in our cars, was better than one in our houses by that time.
So I heard concept album come out, and Casey Grillo, I love you. You're the touring drummer at Queensryche. I know 2 songs. I don't know anything about Queensryche, other than these guys listen to them. Tell me, concept album. What's that mean? We have an idea what it means. What's their mission? What's their goal? What are they pulling together there in that album?
There was a story that linked everything thematically. Everything followed. It was like a book. There was a narrative. There was a beginning and a middle.
I was just going to go there.
And a resolution.
Give me the BME. What is it? What's the topic? What's the thematic of it?
It's about a kid who becomes brainwashed into following a cult that's about to overthrow the government, and he finds out by the end that they've just used him. They had no investment, so he ends up incarcerated. That's where it ends.
I mean, there's dialogue through it. There's a running story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny story with that, Ed. You'll get a kick out of this. So I'm a sophomore in high school. I had just gotten that record, and I was listening through it on my headphones, mind you, in my room late at night.
Not your ear pods, not your Bluetooth, your headphones.
Right. I get to the very end of Eyes of a Stranger and this and that, and I think that the record is done, right? Mind you, it's probably, 11:30 at night in my bedroom. Everybody's asleep, the whole whatever. And then the very end was, now I remember. And I I threw my headphones, across the room.
Same shit happened to me with Pink Floyd. Is there anybody out there? I about shit myself, man. All right, so let's keep this thing moving because we've got trivia participants jumping in. What the fuck's my number 2? Oh, Shout at the Devil, man. Motley Crue, the biggest Kiss ripoff. But, probably a beginning to end record for me. And just the whole, the pentagram, the whole pushing the envelope. I thought Nikki Sixx was amazing, even though he only plays in open A. It meant I could play his bass lines, It all has its points and meanings. But I really, really, really thought Shout at the Devil was amazing. And earlier, before you guys jumped in, we were talking about some of our honorable mentions. Too Fast for Love was one of my honorable mentions. The only reason Shout at the Devil is my number 2 and not Too Fast for Love is because I found Shout at the Devil first, and then it took me back to Too Fast for Love. But I think Too Fast for Love is so much a better album, and I like it more than Shout at the Devil, except for Toast of the Town, which thanks to Jay, I was introduced to Pretty Boy Floyd, who does a much better version of Toast of the Town than Motley Crue ever could. All right, Corey Canfield, give us your number 3.
Real quick on Motley Crue. I had Shout at the Devil when it came out for best opening album, first track to an album ever. And Too Fast for Love wasn't popular until the Shout at the Devil was selling.
Correct.
That's why you didn't get it until second. But yeah, my number one is going to be.
Wait. Let me apologize to Jay real quick. I'm sorry that I let all the booties know that you're the one who introduced me to Pretty Boy Floyd. Sorry.
It's your fault, Jay.
Just kidding.
My number one is also a live album. It's U2 live at Red Rocks Under Blood Red Sky. That song is good from start to finish. If I put it on, I still play it today when I'm cooking and just let it go.
Great album, great tracks. One of the worst concerts I've ever been to, but number one and number two worst concert I've ever been to. But I get where you're coming from, and at the time, I thought it was amazing too. Jay, you're a big U2 fan?
Yeah, and funny story that ties into us. We had a show in Sarasota, and I was seeing them on the Zoo TV tour at the Big Sombrero. Craig had to come pluck me like, 10 songs into it to drive my ass to Sarasota to meet you guys and play that night.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what? In my opinion, I don't think you missed much.
No, they were great. They were great. No, U2's great. Come on.
I've seen them probably 5 times. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I saw them at Ray J with Pines, and aside from hanging out with Pines, worst show I ever been to. And then they come back around on this last tour, and Angelina wants to go see him, and I'm like, yeah, we'll go see you too. And I forgot how much I really don't care to see U2 in concert. They're like I'm not saying anything about their music, but I'm going to a live show. I want to see Kiss, and everybody knows that. So just get over it. Jay, what's your number one?
Number one for me could be my favorite album of all time. It's Purple Rain. Start to finish, it's great. The time of my life when it came about, you hear people talk about, wearing the, grooves out on a record. I did that. And
I had no question that your number one album would be a Prince album. I didn't know which one. As long as I've known you, you just loved Prince. We'd have shit opening up our little shows thinking we were badasses, and it was Prince music. And you opened a world someplace I probably never would have gone. Just such a great musician. I didn't know he played all his own tracks. And just a great album. 1999, great album, but I don't think it's Purple Rain. I think Purple Rain is just phenomenal. It's a soundtrack. I love movies. I enjoyed the movie.
The recording of Purple Rain on that record is a live recording. It's live.
Really?
He had done a studio version and didn't like it as much, and so they recorded that live. That's live there. Yeah.
I only wish they would have put more Stay in the Time on the soundtrack.
I mean, they had their own record, Ice Cream Castles, which Jungle Love and the whole whatever. So yeah.
Text me that so I can remember to look it up, because that's
great record too.
And every time that movie comes on, I watch it. And before meeting you, I never would have watched that movie. It just would have come on and gone off. Awesome. And I had no doubt that Prince would have been in your top 3. Eddie C?
My number one, I had to think about this because there was a lot of shuffling and shit. Ride the Lightning.
Top song off Ride the Lightning.
Came out sometime in the beginning of my senior year of high school, 1984. And while everybody else was listening to shit like Madonna and the Cars, that came out of my stereo. And people were fucking fleeing when they heard that. So, it was just, it's still a mean, edgy, angry album, and it just fucking blew me away. And I've seen them. I only remember how many times I've seen Metallica, but it never failed. It's probably why I have 3 neck fusions, because when you're sitting there and they get to the middle of Creeping Death, and they got the audience going,
Oh.
die, die, and I'm just sitting there, my head bobbing back and forth like some fucked up cuckoo clock. It's just nuts, man. I mean,
First time I saw him was Monsters of Rock, and when that song came on,
I was there.
I was fucking scared.
Yeah.
But it was one of those. It was one of those. What the fuck is going on?
Well,
and I became a Metallica fan that day.
I knew them anyway because I had gotten into them right after the first album came out. And this guy Jeff that I worked with was like, "You got to hear this band," and I gravitated toward it. So that was probably one of their first shows in Florida. They never made it down here until that time, which I believe was when Master of Puppets came out. Master of Puppets or And Justice. I don't even remember anymore.
Monsters of Rock was the Injustice.
Okay. So it was 88, and it was right after Jason Newsted had joined. And if we were at that show, I remember it was a good show. And, Kingdom Come were okay as an opening band. Of course, they never shook that Zeppelin clone tag.
No.
But I remember telling my friends, you better fucking hold on because Metallica's going to come out attacking shit. And that's about how it was. I mean, they were just really hungry with something to prove. And a lot of people who were there that day probably were like, holy cow. Because I got to tell you, out of all, in the last 30 years, no hard rock band has sold more records than Metallica. So they were only 2 years out from that, And there's only 2 hard rock acts in history that have sold more records than Metallica. There's Aerosmith and there's Led Zeppelin. So if you saw them on that day, you were probably like, holy shit, because they were by far the heaviest. I don't know how much you remember that day besides people throwing shit.
Right.
I remember how vicious Metallica was, and I remember how disappointed I was in Dokken. They fucking let me down that day.
Well, I remember feeling bad for the Scorpions. The Scorpions had to follow that up, and it's when you got that heavy, you can be the greatest in the world. It's hard to keep up with even just the BPMs of the, you know what I mean?
Sure, but I remember that for a lot of those reasons. Dokken, I remember thinking, my God, hire a fucking second guitar player and don't let it be Don Dokken because. You got to have somebody that can keep up with George Lynch, who's a fucking god. But the 2 times I saw them, I remember going, God damn, I have never been so let down by a band. But that was a vicious day. And that's one of those
you must have never seen U2.
I saw U2 a couple of times and I really enjoyed them. But
I'm just kidding.
It's just one of those ones, if you don't buy into the milieu of U2, you're going to come away thinking it's like going to one of those charismatic churches where they got the rock band on stage.
Dude, you summed it up right there.
And that's just how it is. I don't begrudge anybody for their musical tastes unless they're like really into EDM, in which case, fuck the fuck off.
Spider, did you hear that? Did you hear that, Spider?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he likes that fucking glow stick and.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. All right, guys, no surprise. My number one's a Kiss album, Lick It Up. It was the end of the band that did it all. The number one band of the 70s, in my opinion. Just still my favorite band today. And I think what I like most about Lick It Up isn't that they took the makeup off. I think it's a Paul Stanley album from start to finish, from Exciter all the way through the end of the album. Take away a couple Gene Simmons songs, like what, Dance All Over Your Face. What the fuck is that? Come on, Gene, let's grow up. You have no more makeup. But I thought it was a great album, and I thought it was the beginning of what could be amazing. Ups and downs led to where we're at today. But again, it's one of those time things. Kiss was mysterious. They were unique, and they let it all go and tried to put the music out front. And I thought they did a good job. I love Paul Stanley music. I have a playlist. It's all Paul Stanley from Kiss, thanks to my daughter. And that's my number one from the 80s.
I'm surprised Creatures wasn't ahead of that, but yeah.
Ah, man, Creatures was, I don't know. It wasn't, it was a little heavy. It was a little heavier.
It's the shit.
It was a little heavier, which is what you like. I like bubblegum music, man.
Right.
I mean,
Side 2 of Creatures is the shit.
I may or may not own every Britney Spears album. I'm just saying.
I'm surprised you picked Hot in the Shade because there was like 52 songs on that.
I know, dude. I still haven't got through it all. Is it good?
Oh my God.
Hey, we've actually lost trivia players. Let's get fucking the one that's left. We lost like 3 people in the waiting room because we're rambling and bambling, but that's okay. That's what we come here to do, hang out and talk 80s music from time to time, and I love doing it. And we're going to bring in Carl Miller. Carl Miller, dude, we get Carl Miller from Silver and Smoke. I thought we were going to get some 80s hair band dude.
I went looking for it. Trust me.
Dude, man, we've been babbling and talking 80s music, man, and sorry that we took so long. We lost 3 other people out of trivia because we were babbling. So thanks for hanging out and getting ready to
What else did they have to do? Shit.
Well, IFA, you know, they had to go eat. They had to go eat supper.
He's probably still in line to vote.
Oh.
Yeah, be on his phone.
Oh,
I'm in the cornfield, yeah.
Eddie season rare form.
Rare form tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get to some pointless pop culture trivia. Jay, Corey Canfield, thanks for coming in talking music, and we're gonna do this again soon. You guys pick the topic. We could do best guitarist, Ace Frehley. We could do best frontman, Paul Stanley. We could do anything you guys want to do. And Jay, for the record, the best album of the 1980s. I don't even know. It probably didn't come out in the 80s. Best kept secret. Just saying. Came out in the 90s.
Yeah, 90.
90, and then Strawberry Jam 92.
91. Yeah.
I say all the time, we're the best hair metal band of the best 80s hair metal band of the 1990s.
Oh my God. Ew, excuse me. That's wrong.
Is what it is.
That's 80s. Wow.
Fuck all y'all.
Look, I can't say much, Jay. I don't know if you guys were in town, but there was a show, and it was kind of a bad omen for 80s hair metal, and I think it was in 92 or 93.
Were you at the Ritz?
No, it was Warrant and Kingdom. No, it was Warrant and Kingdom Come.
Sundome.
At the
Bayfront.
Sundome.
Bayfront.
No, this was Sundome. I remember going because I was at USF, so I got the tickets fast. And I remember I went with a buddy of mine, and in between the bands, he had no filter, which did not surprise me years later when he tragically passed away in his mid-40s from a brain tumor. And I look back at the things that he did and said and thought, well, it's not a surprise. But we're sitting there in between, and he just blurts out, I've never seen so many fucking fat chicks in one place. Just, you just want to crawl under the seats and hide. But the problem was I agreed with him. I just didn't want to do it, like, vocally.
Is he talking about Janie?
Oh, oh, damn.
Who are you talking about?
No respect for the dead. No respect for the dead. Nah. You insulted him a little bit.
Wait, who are you talking about?
The women in the crowd.
No, but who said it?
My buddy Steve just blurts it right the fuck out.
I thought he was saying Janie Lane said it.
No, God, which wouldn't have surprised me.
They used to hang out with Janie Lane.
Oh,
A few times.
All right, let's get going here. Let's play a little pointless pop culture trivia. Remember the rules for trivia.
great.
Have a drink and don't cheat. Does everybody have a drink? Carl's lying. He's got water. He's trying to get a head start on us. Eddie C's been drinking beer. Looks like he switched to coffee.
No,
In a refill.
8:30 tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's water.
We might have to
So early. So early, 8:30.
Carl's already done at the gym by then. All right, rules for trivia. Have a drink, don't cheat. If you know an answer, shout out your own name. Our co-host, Big Eddie C, will call on whomever he hears first. That person will respond and have a chance to answer. If they answer incorrect, someone else will have the opportunity.
I thought somebody stole it, fuckers.
No, we would have been lost.
All right. There.
Remember, Big Eddie C is the ruler of Pointless Pop Culture Trivia. And if we have to go to the tape, tough shit, Sam. All right, the winner of tonight's Pointless Pop Culture Trivia, powered by 813 Tequila, will not only win weekly bragging rights, but they will also have the opportunity to have their name entered into a drawing where they may or may not be selected the winner of a prize to be named at a later date. Question number 1. In the vein of the 1980s and the top albums of the 1980s, all of these trivia questions will revolve around the 1980s.
Wait.
Which 80s movie was the highest grossing film of the decade?
Carl.
Corey.
Star Wars.
Carl's in first. Carl says Star Wars. That came out in the 70s, you young buck, you. I believe Corey came in second. Am I right there, Big Eddie C?
Corey's second.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. Great answer, but incorrect. Jay, you get a free shot at this.
Let's go E.T.
E.T., the extraterrestrial. You are correct, sir.
Ooh.
My favorite E.T. movie moment is when he is lying in the gutter. And I remember watching this movie with Jay Morey and my buddy Jay Pines. We were actually plowing through the Marlboros back at this time in our lives, and probably 2-3 packs a day. And having asthma like I do and smoking 3 packs a day, E.T.'s laying all pale white in the gutter, and Jay Pines looks at me and goes, "Dude, that looks like your lung." Because I only have one. Question number 2. Which 80s movie was Alan Rickman's first feature film role? If you don't know who Alan Rickman was, he played Snape in the Harry Potter series.
Oh.
And he is a math teacher at Chamberlain High School. He goes by the alias Baydoun. Carl Miller's in, Ed.
Is he?
Ferris Bueller's Days Off.
Ferris Bueller Day Off is incorrect.
I'm gonna have some great answers tonight.
That's all right, man. You're in the right decade this time. All right, I will give you a hint. What are you doing on the roof, Hans? What are you doing? Jason Morey, I think, is in there, Big Eddie C.
I saw him lip sync, yes. Die Hard?
It is Die Hard, where he played Hans Mueller, the bad guy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when he died, all I knew was that Snape died. My daughter reminded me that he was the bad guy in Die Hard, and I didn't believe her. Eddie C., what's the score after 2 questions and only 800 left?
Jay has 2. The other 2 got a goose egg.
Oh, we got bagels working in the crowd tonight. Question number 3. Which 80s movie spawned 6 sequels and a TV series?
Corey.
Ooh.
Terminator.
Terminator is a great answer, but incorrect.
Oh, now I know it. God damn it. Oh.
We may come back to you just for grins and giggles.
Carl.
Ooh, I think Carl jumped in.
Yeah, Jay was making eruptive noises, like vocal warm-ups. Go ahead, Carl.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, again, was in the 70s, dude.
2 fucking times you told them.
Maybe that's not water. Jay, you got a free shot.
Taking a stab here. Police Academy.
Police Academy is correct. Do you have a Google box open?
No.
Did you read the text I sent you?
You know, Carl, you told him twice Star Wars is the 70s. I swear it's like a bad version of the fucking Brady Bunch where he reached out of his box and took your Jack Daniels, man.
We're coming back. Don't worry. We're coming back. Don't worry, Carl. There's some. Yeah, you're a grandfather. We got some questions that might be in your favor here.
Oh,
Oh,
I think Jay's winning 3-0. Is that correct,
Yeah,
Eddie
that
C?
is correct. Yes.
Question number 4. Which 80s movie was the first to become a hit largely due to MTV? I feel so fucking smart because I have all the answers. Feel free to call me Alex Trebek.
Jason.
Oh,
Hit it, Jay.
Desperately Seeking Susan.
oh, that's a great answer, dude. No,
Corey.
Corey.
Corey's in.
Fast Times Ridgemont High.
Another great answer. No. I've seen both of those movies. I have not seen this movie.
MTV had nothing to do with that one. Anybody else?
Wow, free guess.
Footloose?
It's not Star Wars.
You were in the ballpark, but not quite.
Did you answer? Did you make a guess?
Footloose?
Footloose. Great answer, but no. Correct answer is Flashdance.
Oh.
Flashdance. I've never seen that movie.
It's Chicks in Tights.
Well,
It's like every 80s hair metal band, right? All right, here we go. Question number 5. Which movie marked the beginning of a long string of successful Disney movies, sometimes called the Disney Renaissance era?
Jason.
Jay.
Little Mermaid.
Dude,
Go.
what is up with that?
Wow.
Where are you getting this from? You are correct.
I know Disney stuff.
How old's your son?
14 now.
Holy cow. I'm
Wow.
so sorry. So sorry.
Good.
Power to you. Big Eddie C, give us a score, just so Corey and Carl feel bad.
Was it 67?
Jay has 4, and they're just there.
Question number 6.
Swing and a miss.
What? Carl, look at me. Look at me. The answer is not Luke Skywalker. Question number 6. What's the name of the lead character in The Secret of Nim? All right, the correct answer, since nobody has called in, is who gives a fuck? The answer is Miss Brisby, whoever that may or may not be.
Her husband was dead.
All right, back to questions that may have some meaning. Question number 7. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Corey.
Who said that?
Corey.
Ooh, Corey's in.
Well, that was from Ghostbusters.
It was. We will accept that. Eddie C, will we accept that?
Yes.
Bill Murray from Ghostbusters.
Bankman.
What's that?
Yeah, Bankman.
Bankman, yeah. I'm excited that you knew that. I've never seen that movie.
Wow.
Bill Murray's best movie. Bill Murray's best movie, anybody?
Caddyshack.
Carl. Yep.
I heard Caddyshack.
Carl
Jay,
Miller.
what'd you say?
What about Bob?
What about Bob's a great movie, Corey?
Stripes.
Stripes.
Stripes is
My favorite. Stripes. Eddie C?
Groundhog Day.
It's got to be Caddyshack.
Oh, I like Groundhog's Day and Stripes. Those. And what about Bob's great too, man?
You ever see the
Great
movie?
movies. Great movies. Hey, Jay, sidebar conversation. Just because I can. The guy from In Living Color who was in Jumanji and fucked up the shoe, black comedian, don't know his name.
Career.
Kevin Hart.
Him. He did a comedy routine, Black Kiss. Have you seen it?
No.
No.
No? He did a comedy routine where him and his buddies are like in Mississippi, and this rock and roll band came through, and they're all there in makeup, and they had this gimmick for a rock and roll band, and these white guys came through and stole their gimmick and took and made it huge. I can't find it to save my life.
Oh my God.
I can't find it to save my life. It's called Black Kiss by Greer. If
Yeah.
either one of you guys can find that and email it to me, I would be forever grateful.
I will look for it because I would love to see it.
It's hysterical. It's just like stupid. Stupid like people who don't know the answer to question number 9. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Name that movie.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, I think Jay said his name first.
No,
wrong?
I said twice while you're saying the
said it.
question.
Did you say your name?
Yeah,
Eddie
you
C,
did.
give us a ruling.
First one I heard was Jay.
Okay.
Corey said it while the question was being said. He got it.
That is very, very kind of you. How many beers have you had?
Oh, no, I'm serious.
Corey, what's the answer?
It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's my Ferris Bueller.
Big Eddie C, I guess Jay is going to concede Pennsylvania to Corey.
Okay.
Can you tell us what the score is?
Jay has 4, Corey's got 2.
And Carl? Sorry, Carl, I love you.
Basement dweller. Basement dweller.
Come on, Carl.
Just be happy Jacqueline's not in the room tonight because she destroyed everybody. All right. We're on question number 10. This would put us halfway to nowhere. Name the movie that has this quote. Hello, my name is, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Oh, Big Eddie C, you got your job cut out.
I think I heard Carl first.
Princess Bride.
It is The Princess Bride.
Carl's on the board.
Have fun storming the castle.
Never seen that movie. Question number 11. Name that movie. Carpe diem, boys. Seize the day. Make your lives extraordinary.
Carl. Dead Poet Society?
Yes.
Dead Poet Society it is. Jay, are you being nice? I look like you knew that answer.
I did. He said it first.
All right, hey. Just asking
No pity points. No pity points.
No pity points. Eddie C, you got to give us a rundown so I could drink.
Jay has 4, Carl and Corey have 2. Getting tight in here.
That's what she said?
Boom. Question number 12. What movie is this from? I could disappear forever and it wouldn't make any difference.
Carl.
Oh.
Breakfast Club?
Oh, good guess, but wrong.
Oh.
Might as well have said Star Wars. Jay, Corey, do you have an answer?
I do not.
When you say it, I'm going to know it, but.
Yeah, movie quotes are my thing. I have no idea.
Second quote, same movie. You think you got it bad. I got to sleep under a guy named after a duck's door.
Oh, 16 Candles.
Say your name.
Corey.
Those aren't even the best quotes, man. My 2 favorite ones are the ones they probably, I don't even know, I give it another year before they won't be in the movie when they show it on TV. And he says, just answer me one question. Yes, you're a total fag.
That's awesome.
No, but then the old man was even better. What was he wearing? Well, let's see. He was wearing a red Argyle sweater and trousers and red shoes. What's that? No, he's not retarded. Oh my God.
Where's Grandpop's automobile?
Automobile is one of the best lines in the entire movie.
You? Big Rick.
Oh my God.
Oh. Corey, do you like Grandpapa's lawn mowing machine?
Oh, yes.
All right, Corey got that point. Make sure we record it.
Okay.
Interesting dish and convenient pie.
Awesome movie.
Oh man.
We're getting pretty close here. Question number 13. What artist sang the 1986 song Danger Zone for Top Gun?
Corey.
Jason.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins is correct.
It's almost like he was embarrassed to admit he knew it. It's okay. No shame.
I saw his brain processing.
Oh, he's a genius.
So for my birthday, I wanted to go see Buck Cherry because I love Buck Cherry. Fuck everybody who's judging me. Jay, by any chance, did you see Buck Cherry recently?
Last time I saw him, they opened for Kiss like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. So, you know, concerts are like wrestling. It's the same in every city, whether you know it or not. And, oh, wait, spoiler alert. Concerts are like wrestling. They're the same in every city. So they're getting ready to play their encore, and he goes, what do y'all want to hear? What do y'all want to hear? Kenny Loggins. Who the fuck's Kenny Loggins? And he goes, I think of Highway. And they broke into Footloose, and it was like the best shit ever, man.
Oh,
I thought it was fucking incredible because your boy can move, man. So he's up there dancing like the end of Footloose, and of course there was nobody there because it's Buck Cherry and it's at a Harley dealership. Question number 14: which 1980s theme song was entirely instrumental and reached number 1 in multiple countries due to a remix?
Jason?
Jay.
Hill Street Blues?
Ooh, man, that was a great guess.
Wow.
That was a great guess. No.
Corey,
Corey.
Axel's theme from Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, Eddie C, make the ruling.
Yep. That's the
Is
one.
Axel F from Beverly Hills Cop.
Axel's
Great song. Eddie C, we need some scores. Sorry,
got
Carl,
5.
we have to.
Jay's got 5. Corey has 4. Carl has 2.
Ooh, Carl, it's like last week. So you're saying there's a chance.
You're saying there's a
Playing for pride.
Oh,
Eddie C, oh, okay, we're on question number 15.
yes.
Whew. Nobody's gonna. Well, Jay might get this, and Ed would definitely get this. Which
Not without
19?
some context.
You wouldn't have got this, Ed?
Fuck no.
I'm gonna tell you, Jay might get this.
Well, he's a savant with this shit. He lives.
Which 1980s theme song was recorded in just 3 hours?
You're saying TV or movie?
It's a movie.
Theme
Ghostbusters.
song. Which one?
Ghostbusters.
No.
No.
Oh. I don't know.
Indiana Jones?
No.
No.
What was the title track from Indiana Jones theme song?
God.
It sounds a little bit like the Cantina Band from Star Wars.
Corey,
Corey, what is it?
Danger Zone, Top Gun.
Good guess. Incorrect. If we would have said, is it Breakfast Club, Ed?
No, don't you forget about me?
Don't you forget about me. Who sings that song?
Simple Mind.
Yep. Who was originally supposed to sing it?
Money Guy.
Yep.
No way.
Well, I
He
think I
turned-
just won. I think I just won pointless
Just won
pop
the
culture
internet.
trivia.
Yep. Keith Forsey wrote it for him. He turned it down, offered it to Simple Minds, who initially didn't want it. But then Jim Kerr ran it by Charlie Burchill, and he had some ideas, his guitar player, and they ran with it. And later on, Billy Idol did record it for one of his albums, but comparatively, it sounds like canned ass.
Yep,
Right.
I would agree. I've heard his version.
Now, Simple Minds nailed that as far as the arrangement, everything about it. They just did. They struck gold.
All right, so let's talk here, and I'm telling you right now, if you're watching the podcast and I offend you, I don't give a fuck. So I go to a wedding, a millennial, so really not much connection to the movie other than probably the dad, right? The wedding ends, and Don't You Forget About Me comes on, and they're walking out. He stops at the end and goes,
Oh my
and then he
God.
walks out.
Ah,
Stupid or not stupid?
nah, in the
I think it's
context of
all
wedding,
right.
it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right?
It's all right.
Look,
I'm going to tell you, he wasn't even born when the fucking movie came out.
Yeah, well,
it's one of those ones that transcends it. Look,
It's on TV every other week, so.
listen,
that's true.
you know, at my own wedding, I mean, if we're talking about bad behavior comparatively, one of my friends was so fucking drunk when he comes over to meet us, he just leans on my wife's
Hey, get me a
tits
beer.
like they're a shelf, you know. So, you know, him doing the bender arm in the air is nothing by comparison. You know, everybody at my wedding falls into two categories. They're so drunk they don't remember it, or they're dead.
Oh, that's no bueno. But isn't
Other
it
than us?
quasi the same thing?
There were some people I think who were really drunk and now are dead. But you know, it was the two camps. The old people can hold their booze. Young people can't. I've learned that. You know.
All right. Should we give? Oh, he's back. Damn it! Did you give me a beer? What number? What number?
You're on 16.
4 or 5.
No, I meant Jay. Beer.
Oh,
4 or 5.
Me too. Carl, how many waters have you had?
Just one.
just one.
Carl's got to be at the gym in
3 hours.
5 o'clock, right?
Yep.
5 o'clock gym time.
Oh man.
Carl, when you're getting out of the gym, I will be at my warehouse. After I leave my warehouse, I'm coming back home to pick up my daughter, and then we're going to eat breakfast at some shitty ass restaurant. And it doesn't matter which shitty ass restaurant it is; it just has to fall into that category. And then we're going to go ride scooters downtown and enjoy the day and do absolutely nothing, and probably get some Johnny's ice cream over at Sparkman Wharf.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I wish I could see you on a scooter though.
You will. I'll Facebook Live tomorrow, just for you, Eddie C. Question number 16.
Don't do it. You'll
Which
fall.
two Footloose songs were nominated for Academy Award for Best Original Song in 1984?
Jason. Footloose and Let's Hear It for the Boy.
That is exactly right. Who sang Let's Hear It for the Boy?
Denise
Williams.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great song. Great song. You all right there, old man?
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Just laughing.
All right. Eddie C, we got a score?
Yeah, Jay's got 6. Corey's got 4. Carl has 2.
Carl, I love you. Not a shot in hell. You're playing for prosperity right now. And
Never tried.
Corey, you got a chance to win here.
All right.
Question number 17 out of the 32 left. Which 1980s theme song inspired its own separate film? Eddie C, this is fucking stupid. Would you have known this?
No.
Somebody needs to proofread these questions ahead of time. Our writers are doing horrible. Which 1980s theme song inspired its own separate film?
This is for a movie.
It is for a movie. We're on movies.
Theme
And I
from
have
a
no
movie.
and I have no clue what the I know nothing about this.
Spin off.
Jay, you still cooking?
Hey, I don't know.
No, I meant like for real. Are you cooking? What's the last thing you've cooked?
I made some chili tonight.
Ooh.
Is it cold in Atlanta?
And I use, it's actually simmering over there. I haven't eaten yet, so I don't know. I actually used some, I put some, no, hold on.
VooDoo
I
Red?
put magic on the cornbread muffins.
What'd you put on it?
Magic.
Okay.
That'd be
And
good.
There's some red in the chili.
Super duper. I use Nola tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some Nola mahi mahi.
Look delicious.
Thanks, Carl. Carl's a huge fan of Nola.
Yeah.
What I served?
Imagine
Oh,
my
with
favorite.
I served it with poblano corn.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't eat it.
Guy.
Girls ate it.
cool.
Now, is Nola like the Mayan sacrifice?
Mayan sacrifice is actually red, voodoo
Is
red.
that
Nola is like if so that's like your Cajun Creole. Your red is like your Teja, your Southwest, and black is your blackening seasoning. If you were to take those two and crash them smack dab in the middle,
Nola?
you get Nola. So you get the best of the Texas Southwest, you get the best of the Cajun Creole, and we actually call it our Creole seasoning. We use it for shrimp boils, but it's amazing on fish, and it's actually good on hamburger.
Hmm.
Yeah, we had a
Goes well-
competition
Goes
team
well on Gator.
and Gator. Fuck, I should have taken the Gator out of the freezer. Maybe I'll do Gator next week. We had a competition team put it on a burger and make it all the way to our finals for a competition for a full tuition scholarship to college. And it was Nola on a burger. And I was like, yeah, this is never going to work. And me and my chef buddies are in the back going, fuck, this actually works. It's really good. Back to question number 17,
Yeah.
since ADD set in.
Carl.
Which 1980s theme song inspired its own separate film? Carl, do you have an answer?
You have a hint?
So if the hint were to come about, all right, so imagine a woman laying in a bed in a coma, and she wakes up and says, "Win, win." The only thing I remember about that movie, because I thought the movie sucked ass, and I pity the fool anybody that watched it.
Oh, Corey.
Corey, you're in.
It's Rocky.
It is not Rocky.
It's not Rocky.
Remember the question: which 1980s theme song inspired its own separate film?
Well, you said win, win. I'm like going, okay, was that the...
What was the theme song there, buddy?
Oh. I Have the Tiger.
It was "Eye of the Tiger." Eddie C, does he get a point?
I'll give it to him. We had to prod him and cajole him, but yeah.
I thought you wanted the... never mind. Let's see the movie
Jason
now.
Morey, your favorite Survivor song?
Can't Hold Back.
Oh, that's a great song.
choice.
Corey Canfield?
Yeah. Is it Eye on You or something like that?
Oh, "High on You" is a great song.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
Yeah.
Carl Miller? You're a cook guy. You don't feel obligated. The musician guys know this.
Yeah, no idea.
I think mine would be "The Search Is Over."
Yeah.
Those three are like they're big ones. But those three were all sung by the same guy.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
All right, I'm going to be the bad guy. Your favorite musical meme? I have two.
Uh-oh. What?
Ray Liotta sitting at the table from Goodfellas laughing his ass off. And it says, I bought a new guitar, and my wife says, "Are you going to sell one?" My second favorite meme, and here's where I'm going to hell. Picture of the guy from Outfield, and it says, "Say it isn't so." All right, question number 18. Which 1980s theme song was inspired by a commercial jingle? Did you like that one, Eddie C?
I didn't know this one.
Oh, I meant the meme.
Oh, that's awful.
Which 1980s theme song was inspired by a commercial jingle? Yeah, these suck. At least I know the last two you guys will know. What's the score, Eddie C?
Jay's got 6. Corey has 5. Carl has 2.
All right, so the last two questions are worth 5 points each?
That's
Carl, what does that mean?
Got a chance, baby. Got
So
a
you're
chance.
saying there's a chance. The answer to question number 18 was Ghostbusters. No idea.
What the hell was the jingle?
Well, he actually ripped the song off and got sued for plagiarism and lost every dime he ever made off that.
Really?
He ripped off Huey Lewis song, I Want a New Drug. It's the same.
Absolutely, he did.
Did he
Holy
really? I didn't know
moly.
that.
It's true.
The only one I remember getting sued and losing their ass was that fucking Robin Thicke. That was it. But okay.
Wait, what happened with Robin Thicke?
Well, he ripped off a Marvin Gaye song
And admitted it,
well,
All right.
yeah.
basically.
He tried to cut a deal with them and they said, yeah, fuck you.
Wait, who's all right, so I'm all over the place. Friday night I was in Orlando. I had to pull over. I had to do a radio spot, and we're talking music. And who's the guy that most recently ripped off Let's Get It On?
Robin Thicke.
Sheeran.
No. Wait, Jay, who is it?
Ed Sheeran.
Yes! How come he ain't getting jabbed?
Where's the bigger check?
Got a separate side deal that he doesn't talk about.
Did they work a deal for that?
Yeah, but I don't think they speak of it.
They Voldemort that shit. Not that I've seen Harry Potter.
No.
A few times.
All right, here we go. Question number 19 for 5 points. Name the movie that this quote comes from. I am serious.
Corey.
And don't call me Shirley.
Corey.
Airplane.
Airplane
Yes.
is correct.
Wow.
I'm going to go out here and not the actor, but the character name. If you can give me the character name, another 5 points, just for grins and giggles.
It's one of the three guys. It's Unger.
Nope, not one of those guys.
No.
Just to get that out of the way. Jay, do you know the doctor's name?
No.
Carl Miller?
Oh, no.
Just so you know, it's not Dr. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my God.
It is Dr. Rumack, played by Leslie Nielsen. The movie was Airplane. Eddie C,
Oh.
give us the score. Not that it really matters. It's pointless.
Jay and Corey both got 6. Carl has 2. This is for
All right, the correct
rounds.
answer is not a plane. The correct answer is not a plane. What movie is this from? Snakes? Why did it have to be snakes?
Corey.
Oh my God, your job sucks, Ed.
He got it. He got it.
I think it was Jay.
Do I know you, Jay Morey?
Corey was before me. I heard his name.
Jay Morey, do I know you right now?
I don't, dude. I think Jay got it. I don't know.
Corey, what's the answer?
Okay, well it's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It is Raiders of the Lost
That's
Ark.
one.
Eddie C, what's the score?
Corey wins with 7. Jay has 6. Carl has 2.
Corey, you are the winner of the Pointless Pop Culture Trivia.
Wow.
And as the winner of Pointless Pop Culture Trivia, not only do you receive bragging rights, but you will also have your name entered into a drawing where you may not be selected, winner of a prize that may or may not be given at a later date, my friend. Hey, Corey, man, congratulations on winning Pointless Pop Culture Trivia, man. You guys have a great week. We'll see you guys next week on the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
And there you have it, Booties, another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with VooDoo Chef and all things voodoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the VooDoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps are cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the VooDoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all VooDoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out VooDoo Chef Catering, custom created events for every shape and size. Log on to VooDooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the VooDoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things VooDoo are in support of the VooDoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VooDooChefFoundation.com today.